Okay, we're doing it. We are starting the Carpathian Mega Campaign, which I promised I'll do at 10k. And yeah, we went a bit past that, but now we're finally doing it. So let's jump right in. 1066. And the country I want to play, Romania, doesn't exist. So we can either play as one of the counts in the region, or even better, we can really start from the bottom by creating an adventurer. And that's what I really want to do. Yes, I want to make this challenge a bit harder. So let's make our character. I think I want him to be 16 and to have really good martial. Everything else can be average. We'll make the Carpathian dynasty. And we'll go with this simple Romanian flag design. Yeah, I think that looks good. And yes, we'll build an empire from nothing. Oh, and by the way, I started a membership program on the channel if you want to support me. There are no real benefits yet, except maybe early access to some videos. But if you want to support me, you have that option. I think it's only $2 per month, and you'll have my deepest appreciation. Now we need to take some contracts. I don't really want to take the criminal ones though, because I think the easiest way for us to gain some land is to buy it. And being a criminal will make that way harder. But there are no good contracts over here in Romania. So we'll have to move our camp. We could go to Byzantium. That will cost us a lot of provisions. But okay, we'll do it. That opens a couple more opportunities. We got a bit of money, we got a bit of prestige. But now it's time to move once again. I went back to Georgia. But there isn't a lot going on over here, so we'll move to Moldova. Now we are distinguished, so that's enough prestige to buy land, but we'll need a bit more money. Now the Pechenegs are fighting a dissolution war. Let's wait and see how that goes. Okay, finally we have peace in this region. And we can buy a title. We can get Craiova from the Count of Georgia because we have a hook on him. After 12 years of adventures, we are finally settling down. We are the new Count of Craiova. It's also time to get a wife. I think she's pretty good. She's 19 and she's intelligent. This guy is our overlord, and I'll try to modify my contract. I want a council position. Now we make a bit more money. We fabricated a claim on Georgia, and it's time for our first real war, which should be pretty easy. Those guys don't have an army anymore, but you don't have enough people to actually siege this fort. Okay then, we'll have to hire some more men-at-arms. Now it should be enough. We got Georgia, but now I've noticed all those guys surrounding us are allying each other. Or at least we became the culture head of the Vlach culture. Well, those guys up here are weak and don't have allies, so we'll be attacking them. Now I've noticed we became independent from this Pechenek guy, so maybe we can also take him, although he also has an ally. I don't know. Well, now we got an heir, Mircea. He's not intelligent, however. Okay, I built up the army a bit and now I feel ready to attack this guy. We got them. I could attack Buzău, they are technically weaker than us, but still it's not gonna be easy. Okay, we captured the leader in one battle, so it was actually very easy. If we attack Yalomitsa, we'll have to fight this guy as well. We are evenly matched, but I think we can beat them, especially if we manage to fight them separately. And it looks like we will. Another son. And he is quick. I mean, we have 3 sons right now, so the succession might get a bit weird. At least we won that war. We took over Yalomitsa, and we managed to capture Count Florin in the war. And I absolutely hate you. You are the one that built this alliance network in Wallachia. You are the reason why our country isn't prospering, so you'll have to go. We're gonna burn you alive, oh god. Oh yeah, and his realm was split in 2. We have enough money to create one of those duchies, and I'll go for Muntenia, because then we'll be able to take over those 2 guys. And I think I'll move the capital to Giurgiu. Okay, fine, you can have less taxes. Time to attack Severin. Then we'll go for Brăila. Now we're a bit above the domain limit, but at least we can form all the duchies in Wallachia. And then once we get the money, we can become the king of Wallachia. And that should make for a pretty easy succession. Let's attack you, and we'll also have to fight the peasants. I think we can do that. There we go, we're at peace. Now we really need to reorganize the realm. We can't hold everything directly. I just gave some land to my sons, and that should work. Now we have enough money to create the kingdom of Wallachia. There we go, this guy made it from adventurer to king. He even has his own court. And a pet cat. Sounds amazing. Oh damn, look at that Carpathian crown. Sure, we can host the coronation. We don't have the money. Okay, we'll try it later. I will also take Galați for this one county. Now it's time to seize those counties in Oltenia. Oh no, Vasile might die. He's only 52 though. He should be fine. Another son, come on now. Exactly what I wanted. Pechenegs are asking for my help. No, we can elevate our heir to co-monarch. I've never seen this before. But okay, we might as well. And now we finally own all of Wallachia. And we'll be able to expand a bit into Moldova as well. Well, now we have enough money to finally hold that coronation. Let the ceremony start. Why am I gaining so much stress? Anyway, now we're a real king with a great Carpathian crown and Vlach mail. Those are some very cool artifacts. And we have an available dynasty legacy now. Those are pretty important. Let's see, what are we going for? More inheritable traits? That sounds good. Oh lord, the Cumans just took over the entire kingdom of Ruthenia. Yeah, I don't think I'll fight them anytime soon. And we just died. Now let's see, was the succession really that bad? It was pretty bad. We lost those 2 provinces. Not a big fan of that. I will increase the crown authority, and we should be fine, especially if we send a couple gifts to our vassals, and we manage to kill our brother. Now we'll take over his land. Okay, now we have all of Muntenia. Let's quickly attack Dorohoi. That should be very easy. And we'll give our second born some titles in Moldova. The Cumans lost Ruthenia, and they're in a pretty bad spot right now, so maybe we can attack them. In a holy war for the Duchy of Moldova. Even though we don't have enough piety, it should be fine. A new opponent, you say, the Pechenegs. We'll keep going. This was very easy. Now we have the entire Duchy of Moldova, so it's time to do a coronation. We'll give Moldova to this little kid, so we don't have to worry about it. Now we have a bit of a problem. Pecheneg nomads want to rise up because they converted everyone in Moldova, and if we fight them, they got 6,000 troops because they got 6,000 special soldiers, whatever that means. So I don't know, I guess I'll try to call my allies into this war, and we'll see if we can keep this country together. Okay, with our allies we might be able to do it. Okay, we got this. Everything is under control. Oh, the peasants want to rise up as well, of course they do. Come on, fight me. We won both wars. There we go. Wait, what again? What's going on here? I already beat you guys. Now I have to fight them again for some reason. There is something very wrong about this. Now we got rid of it, I think. But we have this huge plague. You gotta be kidding me. This has to be a bug, right? I don't think I'm supposed to fight 7 different Pecheneg revolts. One of our sons died in that plague, but we can still lose all of Moldova once the succession happens. Oh, and the HRE collapsed. Now we'll change the succession law from confederate partition to normal partition. Maybe that will do something. Yeah, okay, we can keep all of our titles. We're in a pretty bad position right now, because we can't attack Hungary or the Byzantine Empire. But what we can do is join the Byzantine Empire on low feudal obligations. Let's do it. And then we can take over those duchies we want. I could get a claim on this duchy by forming the Kingdom of Moldova, but I won't do that, because that will mess up the succession. So the Transylvanians, whom we are allied with, are at war with Hungary, and they are trying to do a dissolution war against Hungary. You know what, we're joining. This is an amazing opportunity. My god, Hungary is so unstable. We should be able to destroy them. We won the dissolution war. Now Hungary is gone. I really hope they don't come back together, because if they don't, we can do great things over here. But first I got claims on the rest of Moldova. Oh no, we got another son. Yeah, he might complicate things. Well, whatever, let's go get Dobruja. Our country looks much better now, but now it's time to make our first steps into Transylvania. We can actually do a holy war against this guy, because he is some sort of pagan. Okay, we'll be dead within a year. Yeah, we'll likely lose a couple counties. There we go. But hey, maybe we can kill this guy. That shouldn't be too hard. Now all my vassals absolutely hate me. I guess I can appease this guy by giving him some land over here, and I'll be giving some gifts to everyone. That should help. All of Bihar shall be mine. We got a claim on this entire duchy, but I don't know if I should go to war because this guy might try to revolt. What we can do is ally our disloyal vassal, and that means we have no more factions, so we can go attack Bihar without any worries, whenever we get the prestige, of course. And we killed our brother, we got our land back. That will make us a lot more money, enough to finally do our coronation. Okay, now we can go to war. Oh, we also have to fight those Pechenegs now, otherwise they'll take over Moldova. We can't allow that. Prince Ladislav died. Ah, that's terrible. And our other son doesn't have any heirs. I'm gonna request a divorce. Needs a younger wife. She should do, she's 18. Although there is a 1% chance of inbreeding. I'm sure there is nothing to worry about. Oh no, actually it wasn't her fault. He is unable to have children, so I'm not too sure who will inherit the throne after him. Well, at least we got this duchy. Now let's go for Transcarpathia. And looks like my vassal in Bukovina just conquered all this land. Not a big fan of that actually. It makes my borders look worse. I hired a couple more men-at-arms, and I got a claim on Transylvania. So it's time to conquer all of it. The entire emirate of Transylvania. Wait, what? Why in the world is this an emirate? Because this guy is some sort of Arab, I guess. But he's still Orthodox, I don't know what's going on. We're just gonna destroy them. And we lost Bihar somehow to those guys who are Estonian. And we can't attack them because they're allied with Finland. And Finland is also pretty damn strong. And we'll die within a year. Well, at least I want to conquer Transylvania. That's my last wish. Yeah, we died. And our heir is our sister, who doesn't have any children either. Our other sister, however, does have a kid. But he's a bastard. I really don't know what the future of this dynasty will be. Wait, what? I can't even sway people because I'm incapable? At this point, I might as well just kill myself. Okay, we died. Now we'll continue as Queen Elena, where at least we completed the wish of our father, and we took over Transylvania. We lost that Pecheneg land, and honestly, I kinda like that. What I don't like is that France is taking over Hungary. Not too sure how we're gonna deal with them. Now at this point, being part of the Byzantine Empire is more trouble than it's worth, so I think I'll try to leave. Let's see if they accept. Of course they don't, but this should be a pretty easy war. After all, they are fighting a bunch of people. There we go. We are now completely independent, and France reformed the Holy Roman Empire. Oh no, I think that's terrible. We might have to join it at some point to get that Hungarian land. But for now, I'll try to attack Bihar once again, since the Estonians are out of here. This guy is not giving up. He still wants the land across the Dniester. Wait, what? This guy in box just took over my entire country. We'll have to go deal with that, but first our coronation. Oh no, we don't have our claims anymore on this land. Okay, I'll just go take over Temesh, and hopefully we'll be able to get Transylvania back. I really have to pay more attention at what type of wars my vassals get into. I was just about to attack Bucks, and then they joined the Holy Roman Empire. You know what? Fine, we'll do it as well. We are part of the HRE. Now let's finally take all of our land back. Finally, we are looking good once again. We have died of smallpox. The succession is alright. right? I just hope we survive for another 10 years. Until our heir grows up. Oh no, he got smallpox. And we also got smallpox again. Maybe I should have viceroyed the capital. Okay, again we have died. However, this little guy survived. Honestly, we might be overthrown. There is not a lot we can do as a kid. Okay, we managed to delay the civil war, but I had to give away some of my very rare artifacts. It is what it is, I guess. Now, if those two are gonna rise up, I can probably beat them. Ah, damn, Bihar also joined. So the war won't be so easy. But still, we have to fight it. Bihar left the war, I think they got a new duke or something. So that means we'll definitely win this. Invalidated, really. Unfortunately, this guy in Transylvania got away. And we're in a bunch of debt. And I really like this guy in Transylvania. I am his jailer, his liege, and his primary heir. I'm gonna keep him right there. He will rot in prison. And then I'll take over his title. But before that, we might have to fight another faction. Healing my body. Ah, not again. Come on, I don't want to die. Okay, we'll survive once again. So we got another 2 vassals in prison. And they will stay over there for a long time. Coming of age, finally. Time to marry. And let's finally do our coronation. I feel like King Mircea will be in charge for a long time. We have also imprisoned our vassal in Oltenia. Not because he didn't like me. He was actually a big supporter of ours. But because once he dies, our realm will lose land. So I want to revoke some of his titles. I know it's an act of tyranny. I know everyone will hate me. But we still have to do it. We need to keep this country together. Rise of the Mongols. Yeah. Hopefully we are safe. You know what? Right now we might as well increase our crown authority. I don't care what my vassals think. They're all in prison. Our prisoner has died and we inherited his duchy. But also our uncle in Transylvania got a lot of stuff. Now over here I'll empower this guy, our other uncle. And he'll be very loyal. Damn, Bohemia is trying to rebuild Czechoslovakia. They just took over Nitria. I think we should keep an eye on them. And Poland took over Duchy of Ungvar. Not a huge fan of this. But we should probably focus on those guys in the HRE first. Or actually this guy has a claim on the Duchy of Ungvar. And we could use it. Although we don't have enough prestige. Ah, it's fine. We should probably take advantage of Poland's weakness. We got Duchy of Ungvar. And that includes those other parts over here. I didn't even know that. But yeah, that's actually very nice. Oh no, a huge plague is spreading across our country. Things will be pretty bad. Now we have officially conquered all of Hungary except for that part that Bohemia owns. But we are not strong enough to attack them. Instead, I'll be waiting for a moment of instability in the Holy Roman Empire and I'll be declaring my independence. But for now, we have to keep the realm together. Now, the Holy Roman Empire is still very strong. However, Bohemia is getting very weak. So we might as well take over the Duchy of Nitria. The Khan is dead. So hopefully the Mongol Empire won't reach us. I got cancer. Hopefully we survive. Oh, never mind. The Mongols are right here actually. And now we own pretty much all the land we want. So we'll just wait until we can leave the HRE, which will probably take a while. Yeah, we're definitely gonna die. You know, the HRE is actually weaker than I was expecting. And I got quite a couple allies. So maybe we could fight them. Oh yeah, the entirety of England will come to help us. We'll die very soon. But we must finish this war. Our kingdom will be free. We did it. We completely avoided the army the entire time. And now we're finally independent. And I would like to form an empire of my own, but I really don't have the money right now. Maybe in the next lifetime. We can also submit to the Great Khan. I'm really not doing that. Although, yeah, he might try to come for us. Hopefully he doesn't. Okay, new lifetime. Now let's first make sure we can keep the realm together. That should be our first priority. Thankfully, most of my vassals started different factions. If they all group into one, I'm done. We have enough money to form our second kingdom, which will be the Kingdom of Hungary. We're now the King of Wallachia and the King of Hungary. And we just need another 1,000 ducats and we can form the greatest empire ever. The Empire of Carpathia. Hopefully we don't get overthrown by them. Okay, we did it. Let's form our empire. We are Carpathia. And no one can destroy us now. Except for the Mongols maybe. But hopefully they don't attack. Okay, those guys might actually beat me. So we'll have to do something. We'll create the Kingdom of Moldova. We'll give it to this guy who is pretty loyal to us. He can become a king and we can get rid of a vassal. Still those guys are too powerful. So I might have to give up the Kingdom of Hungary as well. Well, if that's the case, I'll give it to the Duke of Transylvania. Cause he is a Vlach. There you go, you are the king of all Hungary. And now we only have 3 major vassals. Which feels pretty nice actually. However, we gotta make sure those guys stay loyal. But to be fair, this guy is weaker than me. So if he really wants to go to war, he can go ahead. We'll destroy him. We got the Hungarian king in prison. We can also revoke his titles, I guess. But for now, we won't do that. You know what we can do now? We can change our succession law to high partition. And then get absolute crown authority. Now we're dying, which is exactly what I want. Because next up, we're gonna play as our grandson. Which is young, intelligent, robust, and fecund. He's just an amazing character. Ah, okay, we survived the measles. Now we're gonna be living for a bit longer. Well, I made sure to be very stressed right now. So hopefully that will kill us. Oh, finally we're dead. Long live the new emperor. emperor. Now we'll have to go on a pilgrimage, because for some reason we can't get crowned as an emperor if we are not at least faithful. So we're going to Jerusalem, which costed me a whole lot of money. I don't even want to talk about it. Well, at least we got a lot of piety, and we can be crowned as emperor, but we need a patriarch to be okay with this. Please, for some piety? That's a lot of piety, we can do that. For a bit of gold then. Now we can be crowned, and I'm gonna spend all my money on this. I really want to be legitimate finally. Okay, we get the money back from the wedding, so everything works out in the end. I think this went great. We are finally legitimate. I think for the first time in this run. And we are not a crowned sovereign, but instead an anointed one, which is a bit better. Now I think I'll focus on developing my counties, so we can start making even more money. That's the plan. Oh, finally, the Mongol Empire collapsed. I was really worried they would come for me at some point, really. But now we're completely safe. We can just sit here and focus on developing the economy. And I had to take this other county over here. I'm sorry, but my realm needs to have nice borders. I've also finished this Blood Dynasty legacy, and now I'll try to complete the low one. I think it's pretty good. We got windmills, and I want to build them everywhere, because they make a lot of money. I'll just focus on gold maxing right now. I noticed I can reform the Vlach culture. I definitely have enough prestige for that. I guess we can get agrarianism. Sure, why not? I think now it's time to embrace celibacy, because we already have 9 children. I think that's enough. To rule the world. Wait, what? I'll become a conqueror. Okay. I don't think I've conquered anything with this guy at all. But okay, I guess he's the conqueror now. A failed conqueror. Okay, that's fine. By the way, I'm 62 and I'm still in good health. We're gonna live for a bit longer. The Latin Empire is proclaimed. Oh, the Byzantine Empire collapsed. That's pretty big. And to be fair, pretty nice for us. And I have a claim to take over Constantinople. You know, I just had to do it. Constantinople needs to be Orthodox. And so should Alexandria. Because it's an Orthodox holy site. And it was incredibly easy to take. The Pope tried to do a crusade for Syria. And he failed. However, we'll be liberating Antioch. That's another holy site of ours. And since the Pope is so incompetent, we might as well take over Rome as well. We should be able to do this without any help from our allies. Actually, no, he mobilized a bunch of troops. We'll have to call in the Holy Roman Emperor. And he should help us do this. We are Romanians, the true Romans. And the last holy site we need is Jerusalem. And again, we'll take it with help from the Holy Roman Emperor. There we go. We control every holy site of Orthodoxy. And we're very close to becoming a religious icon. We just need to stay alive for a bit longer. We're 81. Come on, just a couple more years. We got enough piety and now we're a religious icon. And it's time to complete our greatest achievement yet. We'll mend the Great Schism and unite Christianity once again. This is so exciting, come on. One God, one church. Now I think, yeah, the Catholics are starting to turn to Orthodoxy. Hopefully everybody will get converted. And I guess we can also consecrate our bloodline. Sure, why not? I'm pretty sure legends are kind of useless, but I still want to do this one. Spiritual triumph of Orthodoxy. This is definitely something legend worthy, right? The Holy Roman Emperor is still Catholic, so I don't know. Oh, the King of Jerusalem wants his land back. Honestly, sure, I don't really mind that. I only cared about mending the Great Schism. I don't actually care about that land. Now I think I'll take Vidi from Bulgaria, because that's also Vlach culture somehow. And we should probably unite the Vlachs. Okay, the Emperor was deposed and now he's Orthodox as well. So hopefully Catholicism will start to fade out. Then the Moldovans just keep expanding my realm and they make it look uglier. Whatever, I guess we'll have to live with that. Emperor Mircea will die within a year. At the age of 93, he had a very long and very productive reign. But now it's time for Emperor Latku to step in. And we can safely get crowned. The Black Death is here, okay. And we're dying. At least the succession is safe. Oh, never mind, we survived that. But we are wounded and disfigured. Ah, well, it's fine. Oh, damn, it's really not fine. Man, this is just everywhere. And people are not happy. All of them want to rise up. Hope we can handle that. The plague is now starting to die out. But it still killed about 5,000 characters. Catholic crusade for Bavaria. Now, that's something you don't hear a lot. Moldova really has no chill. Now they're taking over stuff in Anatolia. Our level of splendor also increased. Our dynasty is now legendary. We are amazing. I've completed the low legacy as well. And now I'll go for the legitimacy one. Now our grandson is in charge of Serbia. And he could actually become our heir if this guy dies. Yeah, there he goes. Our heir is now the king of Serbia, which I'm not sure how will work. I could also designate someone else to be my heir, but I don't think I will. Consumption, okay. The king of Serbia might die. Yeah, he actually died. And now our heir is our great grandson, who is the despot of Hellas. Well, at least he's pretty young. There we go, the inheritance happened. And yeah, I guess now we also own Serbia. I keep getting more land without doing anything. Unfortunately, we are Greek. Isn't there a way to change my culture? Oh yeah, but I need more prestige. Yeah, I'll do it eventually. For now, we'll have to focus on keeping this realm together somehow. I think now it's time to also complete our legend, the spiritual triumph of Orthodoxy, which to be fair wasn't such a great triumph. The Catholics are still holding on, although they are definitely weaker, and all of Britain is Orthodox. That feels good. Well, now we can finally switch from hypartition to primogeniture, so from now on we'll have no issues with succession. I can just sit back and relax for the next 50 years. We just got crowned and now we have max legitimacy, by the way. Oh, and England just took over all of France. That feels good. Oh, now Bulgaria declared war on me. They want to take those duchies back. Absolutely not gonna happen. Okay. Okay, I just inherited the Duchy of Vistula for some reason. And now those guys attacked me. I'm not gonna fight them. I don't really want land in Poland. Now those guys actually want to take over the Kingdom of Hungary. Well, that I can't allow. We definitely have to defend our territory. Pontus just took over all of Bulgaria. And Thessalonica is starting to consolidate Greece. Not a big fan of how this is looking like. But at least we have a great character over here, who will probably live until the end of the game. He's a legendary figure, a religious icon. Our dynasty is legendary. He's excellent at absolutely everything. And he's very legitimate. Our empire is very stable. Unfortunately, all the other empires are very stable. Holy, Britain just took over even more stuff. That's like 2 kingdoms right there. Absolutely insane stuff. Well, now it's 1444 and it's probably time to stop this. This is how the rest of the world is looking like. And I'm very much concerned about having so many great empires all over the place. Because huge countries don't really tend to collapse as much in EU4. But yeah, I guess we'll see what happens then. For now, this is how the religious map mode is looking like. Very important. We didn't really unite all of Christianity, unfortunately. Catholicism is still holding on in Iberia and in Scandinavia. But Britain and France did become Orthodox. Germany and Italy are a bit of a battleground, however. We also managed to assimilate quite a lot of people to the Vlach culture, so that's pretty cool. We have a huge empire. Our dynasty is absolutely amazing. We have 379 living members, and over 26 different houses have been formed by our dynasty, coming from absolutely nothing, by the way. Also, we managed to get a lot of legacies. Well, we're in EU4, and we'll continue the mega campaign. I've decided against playing EU5, just because I think it will take way too long. That game is running so slow. Maybe in a couple years, maybe in a couple years U5 will be better, it will have more content, but for now we are here, and there have been a couple changes to the map. First of all, Britannia had to be nerfed, so Germany was released from them, but they are still extremely powerful. I think they are the most powerful country around. Also, India was divided a bit more, and we, Carpathia, had to release Hungary as a vassal, although they are not very Hungarian anymore. They are mostly Romanian and also a bit Nitrian, I guess. Also, one of the big changes we made in CK3 is that we tried to mend the Great Schism, so Orthodoxy is way bigger, but Catholicism is still holding on, so I think the Reformation will still happen. The HRE is also still around, it's mostly Catholic, although Germany is Orthodox. We might actually want to ally them. But first I need to make a big confession. I don't really know how to play EU4. I'll definitely make a lot of mistakes, but I guess we'll play through it and we'll see what happens. I want some rivals. I would like to rival Pontus. They also had to release a couple vassals, like Bulgaria and Anatolikion. I'll also go for Galicia, and I don't really want to rival Britannia. They're a bit too scary. I'll go for the Arabian Empire, although they are very powerful as well. I really don't know how to manage the estates. And we also have the Cossacks, that's pretty cool, but our crown land is pretty low. Even if we seize land, still I would like a bit more mana. I think this should work for now. We can also get an alliance with Poland, and Croatia seems like a pretty easy target. I think I'll try to attack them. I could also form the Romanian nation. I don't know about this one. I like Carpathia better. I'll think about it. Okay, and the inheritance happened. Peter Carpathian is now in charge, and he's amazing. You'll love to see it. Now let's go attack Croatia. They stand no chance. I would also like to conquer Athens, because they are part of the HRE, and right now the emperor is very weak, but later on someone else might become emperor, and I don't want to deal with that. We'll enforce on Croatia. We can't take over everything, but we can take over a lot of stuff. Let's end this war. Now we are a bit overextended, but it should be fine. My god, but coring all those provinces is so expensive admin wise. Yeah, I guess we'll have to do it anyway. Georgia lost most of their land in the war against Pontus, and I think I could diplo-vassalize them. Their claims might become useful later. Personal union with Poland. Okay, that's interesting. They're our junior partner. You know what, sure, that's pretty damn cool. Now we could go to war with Thessalonica. They have Ruthenia as an ally, but honestly, who cares? I surely don't. And you know what, I might also attack this little country for Poland's claims as well. Really don't see why not. Let's vassalize Georgia very quick. Pontus also declared war on Thessalonica. Okay, that's not very good for us. We managed to occupy most of Thessalonica, so we should be able to take what we want. Ooh, a couple people will be mad, but I think we can handle that. Now we should also start annexing Hungary. Ooh, that will take a while, but it's gonna be worth it. Our amazing king died. Now we have a regency until this guy can take over, which is pretty good to be fair. Now I don't think we'll go into any big wars for a while, since we have no manpower. Oh, we can do a government reform. Let's see. I think I'll curtail the noble privileges for that extra bit of money, and damn, annexing Hungary is very expensive. I'll definitely have to hire an advisor, and I'll stop focusing on admin whenever I can. Golden era of Britannia. Yeah, sounds about right. They're also in the perfect spot to colonize the new world. Imagine how powerful they'll get. They'll probably be the final boss of this campaign. But for now, we should focus on the Balkans. Oh, and the golden era of Pontus as well. That's unfortunate. We can also commission an icon, and I'll definitely go for Saint Michael for that extra manpower. We built our army to force limit. We also expanded, conquer new states, and are probably strong enough to attack Pontus. But I'll wait for a bit more manpower. Oh, and finally, we got our new ruler. Ah, this guy is pretty bad though. That's pretty unfortunate. Finally, we can research this, and we can get our first idea group. I think quantity is fine. Ooh, Pontus declared war on the Papal States. Interesting, interesting. They'll probably be busy over there for a bit. Seems like the perfect opportunity to also attack them. Both we and Hungary have a lot of claims on Bulgaria, and it's time to take some of them. They'll definitely occupy our part of Anatolia, but will occupy Bulgaria, so it's fine. Oh, now they're a great power as well. Yeah, whatever you say. This is not an easy war, I have to admit. They're attacking from everywhere, and they have a lot of ships. So it's very important to keep a little bridge to Anatolia, otherwise you can be locked out of it. Okay, things are getting a bit messy since we don't have any manpower, but hopefully we can do this. Except for a couple, we have won pretty much every battle so far. We are winning, but my god, this war is annoying. And we also lost so many people, and I don't think we'll even be able to take that much. But whatever, we're already over the governing capacity anyway. And we just integrated Hungary. Now we're really over the governing capacity. But hey, having all of Hungary, that's pretty good. We're looking like an actual empire now. We can complete another mission. Yeah, we can definitely use some more manpower. Now where the hell is the army of Pontus? I know they're here somewhere. I just don't see them anywhere. Oh, there they are. I'll definitely have to build a couple forts over here in the steppes. This is very annoying. Okay, I'll just take this land. I feel like continuing the war is just more trouble than it's worth. And since we annex Hungary, we can now afford another ally. I think we can do Vladimir. They are pretty powerful. And we could attack Croatia once again. They can stand a chance against us. Now we're very overextended. Very much over the governing capacity. But we're looking very cool on the map. So that's what really matters. We'll definitely have to redo the force system. There are a lot of problems with the current one. Time for another government reform. The bureaucracy. Let's see. I'll do the centralized one. I want to do a lot of cultural conversion in U4. Because in Victoria 3 it will become pretty much impossible. And I would like to have a big Romanian culture. Oh wait, what? We still have Hellenism around in one of our provinces? That's pretty cool, I guess. Pontus is no longer a great power. So sad, so sad. Okay, I have a question. I just noticed Cyprus is owned by this country, Kanenem-Bornu, which is this empire in sub-Saharan Africa. I really don't think they'll be able to defend this. I guess I'll stop having Arabia as a rival, because they don't consider me a rival either, and I'll replace them with Bohemia. I still don't like how Britannia hates me. They are by far the most powerful country in the world. We can get an age ability. Less aggressive expansion, yeah, for sure. Okay, Britannia doesn't hate me anymore. Ah, feels good. Our truce with Pontus expired. I would really like to attack them, but they have better military tech than me, and I'm a bit scared. Maybe I should also focus a bit more on the military. I feel like we're falling behind. We need to embrace the Renaissance as soon as possible. Okay, I guess we could do it now, but we'll have to take a couple of loans. Still, I think it's worth it. Now we can get another idea group. I think I want an admin one. The administrative idea seems pretty good. Now we're at military tech 7 as well, and in a little bit we'll be able to repay our last loan. There we go, no more debt, good tech, and only now I'm confident enough to go attack Pontus again. We have way more troops than them, this should be pretty easy. It's a pretty fun war, especially since I got lucky and I got this guy with 3 siege pips. So we're just going around Anatolia sieging every fort we see. And you know what, I can also conquer Epirus. Although I don't co-belligerate them in this war, I think it will be fine. Integrate Galata. I have absolutely no idea what this is about, but I'll do it. We have literally sieged down all of Anatolia, and there will be no compromises. I'm annexing Bulgaria, and I'm kicking Pontus out of the Balkans. I don't care how much it costs to integrate, I don't care about the coalition, I'll just do it. Now this is absolutely beautiful. We're 190% overextended. It's gonna be fine. Don't worry about it. A new heir to the throne. I love this. He's way better than the other one. Yeah, unfortunately now we're having a bunch of revolts, and putting all of them down will take a while. We are good now, we just have to kill everyone. Now we're getting so much corruption because we're overextended, but we should be able to fix it eventually. Another ability, let's see. I don't really like any of those. I guess vortexes. Ah no, our amazing heir died. Now we have this guy, which is average at best. We fell behind with the admin tech a little bit, but at least we managed to core everything. Now Pontus is invading the Caucasians, and they are getting invaded by the Arabians. By the way things are looking like, we'll probably have to clash with the Arabians at some point, and they are strong as hell. Now if I seize land again, we are over 50% crown land. I think that's a good thing. Now we have no more corruption in our country, and I'm really wondering how much Arabia will take in this one, because it's not looking good. Also, a lot of the Italians left the HRE. That's pretty good to see. And I'm looking at that because I want to attack the HRE and take Ephesus. I think that's where one of the ecumenical councils happened, right? Well, anyway, we'll have to fight Bavaria. I can also call in Germany, but I don't think there is any need for that. Another government reform, this time on state and religion. I think I like the extra patriarch authority. We'll be able to do more icons. You know, maybe I should also accept some other cultures other than Romanian, such as Serbian and maybe Anatolian. Actually, Arabia didn't take that much from Pontus. That's good to see. And finally, we can also end this war. We got a lot of money from that. That's pretty nice. I could definitely beat up Pontus again. I don't know if I'll be able to integrate the states I take from them, but I can definitely take them. Although we'll have to fight Ruthenia as well. Should be fine. I guess we can also call in Vladimir to fight Ruthenia. Why not, after all? Hopefully we end it quicker this way. We'll make a separate peace with Ruthenia. I'll take those 2 provinces for nicer borders, and I'll give those 2 to Vladimir. That looks a lot better. Unfortunately, we're not gonna take a lot from Pontus. Just the Greek islands and a bit more land in Anatolia. We'll come back for the rest later, don't you worry. Should I get rid of this boyar privilege? It gives me more manpower, but we can't seize land from them. I think I'll revoke it. And again, we're gonna seize land. A new car, really, in the 1500s. Anyway, Alexander Carpathian is our new ruler. Another idea set. Should we go for a military or a diplo one? Probably a diplomatic one. Like trade ideas. Oh, and this new heir is even worse. Okay, whatever. Now let's destroy Hellenism. Let's convert those guys to Orthodoxy. I think they are the only Hellenists left in the world. Actually, no, there is also a lot of Hellenism over here in Khazaria. Okay, I thought they were Catholic, but now they are Hellenist, I guess. Still part of the HRE, by the way. We need another little war to take this province in Croatia, which is part of the HRE. So we'll fight Bavaria once again. Ooh, birth of colonialism. This does change everything. Unfortunately, we're not really in a position to establish colonies anywhere. I guess we'll just focus on our own country. Let's end this. There we go. And we actually made quite a bit of money in that war. And we completed another mission. Another government reform. Military doctrine. I don't know, all of them seem alright. I'll just go for this one. I feel like I'm picking the most basic stuff ever. But whatever. We have a new policy available. Because we completed the admin ideas. And that policy is provincial taxation system. Whatever that means. Our truce with Pontus expired. Oh, and Arabia is also going to read Pontus. Okay, then we have to be moving quick. This isn't even a war, this is a race. Between me and Arabia to see who can occupy Pontus faster. Oh, and now we can see all of continental Asia. Not a lot happened, to be fair. And I have no idea if those great projects are worth upgrading. But I'll do it anyway. I really hope the Arabians will be pissing out first. And poor Ruthenia is now attacked by both Galicia and Vladimir. They might get annexed. Okay, the Arabians are out of here. They did take quite a bit of land though. Okay, we can end this war. I want to stay in this for longer because this way I also got Cyprus, which was controlled by those African guys. Well, not anymore. Yeah, and I also took over Crimea. We completed our third idea group and also those Romanian ideas. Now we can choose a second policy. Okay, sure. Our biggest threat from now on will probably be Arabia. They are above us in both rating and development. And they are allied with the Deccan Empire, which is also extremely powerful. Seems like it's also over for Ruthenia. But Vladimir is doing well. We need another rival other than Galicia and the Arabian Empire. I don't wanna go for any of those guys. I guess we'll get the Deccan Empire. We got every single bonus we can in the Age of Discovery. Ooh, and Vladimir wants to attack Galicia Volhynia. They are allied with Britannia. I don't really wanna do this. Okay, I guess we'll have to. Maybe Britannia doesn't join? Yeah, you know what, we actually got pretty lucky. Britain broke the alliance with those guys. That's honestly amazing. Now let's go defend Poland. Maybe we can give them some land, huh? Sorry Vladimir, but I want to do a separate peace with Galicia. So I can give Poland some land. Oh yeah, that's much better. Also, we are not over the governing capacity anymore. So we can establish some more states. Let's do Slovakia, this part of Anatolia, and also those ones in Austria. And that's it for now. Okay, if anybody is to form Russia, it will definitely be Vladimir. Also now we have Prutenia, Russian Ruthenia, something like that. You know we can probably afford building a port army. Yeah, I think I'll try that. Ooh, Britain is willing to do some knowledge sharing with us. Now, okay, it will cost a lot of money, but I think we'll be able to get colonialism faster. Okay, now the Germans want to take over Prutenia. You go get them, I guess. They just really wanted Königsberg. Now the Germans also take Galicia. You are a bit aggressive, don't you think? Okay, now we just need a lot of money and we can embrace colonialism. Our heir died. And now we have this guy. We just can't get someone normal, can we? New world crops. Okay, we can do that, but that was a lot of money. Our truce with Pontus expired. We'll have to attack them again. I just can't help it. From Galicia, I pretty much wanna take this. And I of course make Poland a bit bigger. And we can embrace colonialism finally. Now our tech is way cheaper. Now Pontus doesn't wanna give up so easily, but they will eventually. And I'll take all this from them. Another government reform. Oh, we're definitely gonna rule by royal decree. The Germans are just conquering the Baltics now, I guess. That's okay, I suppose. Now I wanna do something that's actually crazy. You see, I would like to expand a bit in this region, but everyone over here is part of the HRE. So I'll try to dismantle it. I'll try to dismantle the Holy Roman Empire. For that, we pretty much need to occupy all the capitals of all of the electors. Think it's doable. I've been analyzing the alliance network between them for a bit, and I feel like we can do it. And without fighting Germany. First of all, we have to attack this guy and co-belligerate Emiria. This way we'll be at war with pretty much all the electors, except for two. This guy over here in Bohemia, and the one in the Netherlands. However, both of them are allied with this little country over here. So we need to quickly separately peace out Bavaria and this guy, then truce break and Nossi this country, and we'll be at war with all the electors. That hopefully works. Okay, we can get peace with those little guys. Now Bavaria. Now we can also get peace with them. Now it's time to Nossi those guys, and absolutely destroy all my stability. This is completely fine, don't even worry about it. Now we should really be at war with all the electors. Yeah, I think that's right. Okay then, now we just have to win. There's a coalition that's starting to form against me. That's not very nice. Thank God Germany is on our side. They're fighting with everyone over here. Oh no. Those guys are in a war against Frisia. So that means we have to wait until that war is done. Until we can occupy the province and actually dismantle the HRE. Because we got all the other capitals who are just waiting on this one. Okay, finally we can siege those guys down. And that should be the last one of them. Damn, Vladimir is trying to attack some people over here. Sorry, but I really can't help. I really have bigger problems to worry about. Oh, there we go. Now we can click the button and dismantle the HRE. The end of the Holy Roman Empire. empire. Oh yeah, no more of that. Now we definitely have to end the war. I'm not gonna take any land because we still have this pretty big coalition and I would really like to get rid of it, you know, but I'll take some money. There we go, we are at peace, and that war was actually pretty profitable. It only costed us all of our stability, but that's a small price to pay for, no HRE. Now we just have to worry about this coalition, really. Oh, we can select another idea group. Think I'll go for another military one. I guess we can do both quantity and quality ideas. Okay then, we'll have to play tall for a couple years. I'm not even gonna take Pontus anymore. Oh damn it, the Protestant Reformation is also happening. We're definitely gonna keep an eye on that. The age of discovery will end. Oh yeah, and Vladimir is definitely gonna form Russia sooner or later. Okay, Arabia declared war on Pontus again. I really can't do anything about that. Our ruler died, so now we're led by this person. She's pretty bad, and looks like we're pretty behind on embracing the printing press. Let's start some knowledge sharing with Germany. Now we are up to 93% crown land. We are ready for the age of absolutism, but that will be a bit later. Ooh, and we can see a bit of the new world now. I also see a couple colonies here and there. We'll have to realize Vladimir. That coalition is way too scary. The Arabians keep expanding in this region. I mean, I could attack Pontus. They are not part of the coalition, but it's still out of aggressive expansion. I mean, it shouldn't be that bad if I just try to take back the Georgian land. Okay, I'll try it. Another government reform. Let's go for meritocratic recruitment. Man, looks like I'm not getting anything over here. The destruction of the HRE only allowed Vladimir to grow even further, which is fine, I guess. We are allies. And I would prefer a big Russia over here rather than all this mess. Well, more importantly, we'll be having a big Georgia over here. Look at that. It's amazing. Age of Reformation. This schism in the already pretty small Catholic Church just proved that Orthodoxy is in fact superior. Finally, now we can embrace the printing press. I completely forgot about that. Let's get good tech. Oh yeah, much better. And I guess we have no choice but to rival Britannia. Yeah, pretty sad. I thought we could be friends at some point. Damn, China really broke apart. And Japan is taking full advantage of that. Let's cheer us up a little bit by invading Pontus once again. This time we might be able to finish them off. Ah, no we can't. I don't think we can take anything over here. Because Vladimir kind of blocked us off. Ah, it's fine. I guess we'll take 2 provinces. And we'll just let Pontus be. We have bullied them enough. Okay, a new Tsarina. Julia Carpathian. That's alright, I guess. Oh, Britannia left the coalition. Okay, that's a big one. It's only a couple Germans that still hate me. Never mind, it's only Salzburg. And not even them. The coalition is gone. That feels good. Now I feel like we can do a bigger war. How about one against the White Rus? They have a Danish ally, but it should still be pretty easy. I want to make Poland a bit bigger. They deserve it. They're a good vassal. Also, we can reform the government again. Economical matters. Let's see. We could embrace free trade. Honestly, sounds pretty good. Oh, you gotta be kidding me, really? Those guys from Africa gathered troops all the way over here just to protect Pontus. I kind of respect that. Let's just end this war. Okay, we can choose some other age buffs. Institution spread. That's always nice. This is what I'm going with for this one. Now Poland is bigger and it has a coastline. And we can change our rival from Britannia to those guys in India. Maybe we can still be friends in the end. We should also take over Slovenia. I think that's reasonable. But man, they got a lot of forts over here. We are at war with pretty much all of North Italy. But it's fine, we can deal with everyone. However, we don't have any more manpower. So we should probably chill after this. A regency, okay. This guy's pretty good though. Way better than our heir. Finally, we're at peace once again. And I don't think I need 3 different forts in Slovenia. Now it's time to recover our manpower. And in the meanwhile, maybe we can start annexing Georgia. 30 years. It will take over 30 years. Yeah, fine, let's do it. A call to arms against Khazaria and some other people. Okay, sure. Unfortunately, Khazaria might get annexed. And we won't have this cool reformed Hellenism anymore. The age of reformation is over. Now it's time for absolutism. Now, where are the absolutism mechanics? Okay, here it is. We can have a maximum of 75 absolutism. We can probably get that up a little bit by revoking some privileges. And I think I'll do that. The estates are way too weak to be a threat. 90 absolutism, now that's a bit better. I also want to build a couple universities. Now we have our new Tsar, which is terrible. We can pick another idea group. And I honestly have no idea what to go for. We could go for exploration and try to get some colonies. But I don't think this really fits the roleplay. I don't know, I'll go for this one I guess. And we should start saving up some money so we can embrace global trade. Now we could attack Galicia. They are protected by Britain, but Britain is already busy in another war against the other Galicia. And we can also bring in our allies. So it should be fine. War has changed, yeah indeed. And you know what, I'll also go to war with Moravia. And I'll take them over. We are already at war with Bohemia anyway, since the Germans attacked them. We are in 3 different wars right now, but I'm sure we're gonna win all of them. And you know what, I changed my mind. I don't want economic ideas anymore. Instead I'll go for religious ones, since we'll have to convert quite a bit of land in Moravia and Slovenia. And maybe we'll conquer Austria as well, who knows. Unfortunately, there's already a coalition that's starting to form against us. So I don't know what's gonna happen. We can end the war with Moravia, we annex them, but Germany left the war against Britain. That's not very nice. But the German conquest of Bohemia should end, and we can do another government reform. All of those are pretty useless to me. I guess I'll go for this one, so we can accept another culture, and then we can complete another age objective. Okay, Britannia wants a white peace. Amazing. So we can enforce force on Galicia. I'll just take this from them, so we have an even bigger Poland. And now I really have to embrace global trade. Oh, and the coalition against us disbanded. But we have to get a new rival. Either Britannia or Germany. Honestly, I might rival Germany. They are weaker than us, and they hold some land I might want. If we could get an alliance with Britain instead, that would be absolutely amazing. I don't know, I'll think about it. We could now get a royal marriage with the Britannians, but they don't want an alliance just yet. I guess being allied with Germany doesn't really help either. Let's get a bit more absolutism. Maybe it's a bad idea, but I really want to attack Salzburg and take over all of Austria. So I'll just do it. And we integrated Georgia. Very nice to see. We could become the defender of the Orthodox faith. And we might as well. Oh, we also completed the mission. Oh, much better. Austria is mine. Okay, now that's a bit of an issue. We might want to chill for a bit. I will attack Galicia right now, cause if I don't, they will definitely join the coalition. Same goes for Bohemia. Okay, now it's really time for a period of peace. Like I said, I am peaceful. Now I don't want to fight anybody. So I'm gonna break my alliance with Germany. I know it's very unfortunate, but this way we can get an alliance with Britannia, which I think will be better. Another reform. Absolutism and constitutionalism. We'll go fully absolutist, l'état c'est moi. And now we have no more governing capacity problems. Okay, a new Tsar. He's a little bit better, I guess, but not by much. Okay, I lied. We'll go to war again with Germany, because they have absolutely no allies and we can bring in both Britannia and Vladimir and completely crush them. This will not be a fair war. Poland deserves all of Silesia, just like we deserve Bohemia. So let's take all of it. Now I would say those are finally some pretty good borders. So this time I might really take a break from the war. Man, Germany got destroyed so hard, it's almost sad. They got 2,000 troops. That's it, that's everything. At least Bavaria is doing pretty well. Meanwhile, I think I will invade the White Rus again. Let's make Poland even bigger. I will have to fight Galicia. Okay, hopefully there will be no actual fighting over in our land. We can get some other ideas set. I guess we'll go for a diplomatic one. Like, diplomatic ideas, I don't know at this point. You know, it might actually be a good time for us to declare our golden era. Let's do it now so I don't forget about it later. Oh, and Sweden is completely taking over Scandinavia. Denmark only owns Finland and a bit of Russia now. That's a bit unfortunate. It means Catholicism will be stronger over here. But it is what it is. Now we can get our less government reform. I don't think I need any more absolutism. I would rather take this one. Another free policy. Let's go for the siege ability one. And let's also take Galicia. We gave Poland the entire Baltic region. Now they are truly a sister empire to us, to Carpathia. And the Germans are getting beat up again by Sweden and Bavaria. The Germans literally have no units left. Scandinavia now took over the rest of Denmark and the German coast. It is unfortunate, but it's over for the Germans. Looks like without our alliance, they were destined to fall. Maybe it's time to put an end to the expansion of Bavaria at the very least. With help from our great ally Britannia. We took most of actual Bavaria, and now Bavaria is Catholic, but their population is overwhelmingly Orthodox. We'll see if they can handle that. It looks like Lombardy will be uniting Italy. Scandinavia is already united. Now I'm not too sure why Vladimir didn't form Russia, but whatever. Now I would really like to destroy the Scandinavian empire, and I don't think it will be too hard. I think the best way to destroy them is to release Norway. I also gave a bit of land back to Germany. Oh, the Age of Revolution started. Now that could be very interesting. Pontus wants to ally me now, okay, that's funny, but it's not happening. You know, I could ally Germany again. I think I'll do that, to keep Bavaria and Scandinavia in check. Oh, Scandinavia became Protestant. Didn't even notice. That means we only have Catholicism in Iberia and in Bavaria. There is also a bit in the New World, I guess, but the Britannians are dominating over here. And also the Danish built a pretty big empire in North America. However, they are trying to get their independence. I don't know how that will look like. Now if we attack Bavaria, we'll be able to bring Germany back to its former glory. But we'll have to fight Italy. Still, it's gonna be fine. I took just a little bit of land, and the rest went back to Germany. Okay, Illinois became independent from Denmark, but they still own New England and Finland. I'll see if I can establish relations with one of them. Britain is the economic hegemon. Okay, that makes sense. They are incredibly powerful. So it looks like the revolution happened over here in Rajputana, so it will probably not affect us too much. Now we can get another idea group, and it will be a military one. Offensive ideas. Okay, now we're fighting the Danish, because we support the independence of New Denmark. They are pretty damn powerful, but definitely not as powerful as we are. Okay, it's over. Did we win? Yeah, I think we won. New Denmark is independent. And so is Finland, now known as Canada. Oh wait, what? The Danish also gave me some land. In Circassia, I think. And the Danish colonial empire is dead. North America is independent. Oh, those guys are now calling themselves Florida. Okay, that's interesting. But I don't want an alliance with you. My work here is done. Okay, now they're the US. They are changing their name every couple days. Now I think it's time to do a bigger war. A war against our rivals in Arabia. It will be pretty tough, but we can bring in Britannia and Germany. And hopefully that will be enough. We'll fix up the borders a bit, and we'll finally solidify our rule over Anatolia. Vladimir is fighting Himalaya, so we can attack Tengris, and this way we can get a war with Pontus without having to fight Britain. And we have finally annexed Pontus. And you know what? Let's attack Vladimir once again. And let's make the Black Sea our sea, Mare Nostrum. We are the true successor of Rome. Rome. But this time we are not alone, we have a great ally in the Polish Empire. Oh, and Arabia went revolutionary. Hopefully those ideas don't spread to us. Okay, we have to go to war with Arabia. Sure, that's fine. Not really, but you know. We can pass the Abolition of Slavery Act. I wonder if this will translate to victory. Okay, I'll do it. And I guess we'll see. Well, now we can also embrace our last institution. Industrialization. Now we have all of them. And we can get our last idea set. At this point, it doesn't really matter. I guess I'll go for an admin one, since I want to invest my Diplo power in assimilating everyone into the Romanian culture. We've done a very good job so far. I am really proud of this. Now we have officially researched every single tech there is. From now on, I'll spend all my points on developing the land. Okay, I just found out your war ends in 1821, but I guess it's a good time to take a look at the rest of the world. In North America we got 3 main countries, the United States, Canada and Britain. Meanwhile in South America, Britain is pretty much the only major power, and yeah, they also colonized a bit into Africa. But at least over here there are some other independent countries like Ghana, and the Scandinavians also conquered quite a bit. The Arabian Empire did pretty well for most of the game, but in the last 50 years or so everything started to collapse. Over in Asia we got a very strong Himalaya. We also got a couple revolutionary republics, but most importantly this Indian country took over basically all of China. Japan also owns a little bit here and there. Of course the British own Australia. They will be insanely powerful in victory. But we are in second place, so I think we'll do well. Over in Europe, Scandinavia took Norway back. Germany is more powerful than ever. Lombardy united Italy. The Sardinians were kicked out of Sardinia, now they live in North Africa, and they are Catholic. Speaking of religion, Catholicism is pretty much dead. They are only present in North Africa, half of Iberia, and only a bit of America. Scandinavia and Italy went Protestant, and everybody else is Orthodox. The Protestants also went very hard in North America, and the British allowed Peru to be animist. Islam is still going pretty strong in Africa and Arabia, and Hinduism, my god, the entirety of China has been converted. Also Japan is mostly Vajrayana Buddhist, although they are officially Confucian. Meanwhile in Russia we still got a bit of Tengris. Vladimir didn't form Russia, but at least Yurga is colonizing Siberia, and also converted everyone in my empire to Romanian. So I would say this is a pretty interesting world. Can't wait to bring it to Victoria. We are going back to the roots. Back to Victoria 3, continuing the Carpathian mega campaign. That's how the map is looking like. There have been a couple changes here and there, such as a couple countries getting decentralized, like the Empire of Ghana for example, but maybe that's for the better, because in this game I really want to build a colonial empire. I don't really want to expand too much into Europe anymore. I think we've done enough of that. We are starting off as a pretty powerful country. We actually have a greater economy than the Britannians, but they also have a huge empire in the Americas, so they'll probably be our main rival, together with Lombardy Venetia in Italy, which I guess is also in a personal union with Scandinavia, so they are a pretty powerful force. Meanwhile we have Poland, which is also a PU, so we should start researching nationalism and make them a puppet as soon as possible. Then we'll focus on Q9 and start colonizing. That's the goal here, annex Poland and build an empire. Now what's also interesting is the religious map mode. As you can see, most of Europe is Orthodox, with a bit of Protestantism here and there, while the Catholics remain pretty damn weak. Wait, what? Hellenism? Yeah, Hellenism is still around. Okay, that's pretty funny. Now what I'm mad about is the culture map mode, because our great Romanian culture has been split in two. Now we have our Romanians being a majority down in the Balkans, which I guess makes sense, but it would have been cooler to just have one big Romanian culture over here. Anyway, let's take a look at our laws, cause they are also pretty damn important, and they are pretty good. We got interventionism, free trade, public schools and slavery banned. That's very cool. And we also have no migration controls, and that might be a problem at first. We have a big population, it will take a while to employ everyone. Now what are the laws of Britain? Ooh, they are still on traditionalism and serfdom, and no schools, then that's bad. Ah, but Lombardy has interventionism, so does Vladimir. Yeah, quite a couple people actually. I have no idea how this gets translated from U4, but okay, whatever. Let's get some interest in Africa. And in Indonesia, I would like to conquer that. How hard can that be? I could also get an alliance with America maybe. They are powerful, and we need to keep Poland loyal. We'll give them everything they want. I don't want the liberty desire to go too high. And I don't have all my states integrated. I have no idea why that is. But we should fix it. And we should fix our many shortages. Let's also do some taxes. Maybe we can get the education down a bit, so we can get more bureaucracy and integrate everyone. Now I don't really like Bavaria, and I think it's a good idea to attack them. It's very low infamy, and we'll be fighting Sardinia also, which is not in Sardinia anymore, but only in North Africa, so they will make for a great subject. We have a big enough navy, we can land over there. I'll also be switching the production methods, although I'll be having a lot of shortages in the short term. It should still be fine. We'll start a colony in West Sahara, because it doesn't have any malaria. Oh, and I completely forgot, I should also build my power block. A sovereign empire, sure. Of course, with a very cool emblem. My flag is absolutely absolutely terrible. I need a good emblem at the very least. And a good statue. Oh yeah, that's good. Invading the Sardinians should be pretty easy. Now for our internal politics, we'll need some better taxation. And we'll try to get the church on board. Or maybe not. The negotiate button doesn't really seem to work. So passing laws will be an absolute pain. Well, at least we won that war. Okay, now Sardinia, my subject, is going to war with Arabia. That's cool, that's very cool. They might be able to win on their own, but I'm still gonna help them. Oh, never mind, Arabia backed down. And Sardinia took over Libya. Also, those guys over here actually formed the Empire of China. And yes, they are Hindu. And led by a Tibetan. Okay, that's very interesting. We'll keep an eye on those guys, definitely. Now we'll need a bigger army. Not because we want to fight anyone, but just because we want to keep Poland in check. Condemn slavery. Wait, what? Britain still has slavery. Yeah, they do. But I like the influence, I'm not gonna do it. It's not okay, but whatever, I don't really care about Britain. Oh yeah, per capita is here. Should be a bit better. Now I would like a dedicated police force. And like I said, I wanna do a lot of colonizing. So we'll go for the colonial office's mandate for our power bloc. Okay, nationalism. So that means we can reduce the autonomy of Poland. They are down to a crown land. And we'll be able to annex them eventually. Scandinavia wants me to support their independence. That's something I definitely wanna do. Oh, and we got a Romanian national awakening. Yeah, that's cool. Now we'll get an alliance with America. Seems like an amazing idea. Okay, and I don't think anybody will care if I take over Canada. It's only 20 infamy and it's gonna be definitely worth it in the long run. That was very unexpected, but they actually backed down. This is a bit too easy, huh? I'll do a protectorate in the Maghreb also. They actually want to fight. I respect that, but I'll still conquer them. Ooh, the Hungry Forties. That's unfortunate. The literacy map mode is also very interesting. Pretty much no one in Western Europe knows how to read. Meanwhile, in our country, everybody got an education. Except in a couple provinces, which probably aren't even integrated. But yeah, it's definitely interesting. Now we'll have to start colonizing those places that actually have malaria. But looks like we're still doing some pretty fast progress. Yeah, I think we'll be having a pretty good time colonizing Africa. We might actually be able to get America into our power block peacefully. I'll definitely try it. But we are not getting dedicated police force. Yeah, well, I guess we can get the trade unions the right to associate. That should be fine. Corporate charters, we can get a company. I guess we can get the metal one for now. And we might change it later. Okay, let's invite America into the power block. And that's great because if we keep them here for 5 years, we'll be able to subjugate them. Ah, no, they need a rank less than a recognized major power. Pretty sure that wasn't a thing before. Nah, whatever, I guess we'll see. At least we got easier times over here. And Italy formed. Oh no, Galicia is trying to make a protectorate out of those guys in Indonesia. I can't possibly allow that. Okay, Galicia backs down, that's good. And Germany is having a bit of a civil war, huh? We can make Canada a puppet. And also the Maghreb. Unfortunately, Poland is a bit mad. Yeah, maybe we should focus on them. There we go, another law passed. What else can we do? We could get public health insurance. Yeah, sure. Q9, we got it. Let's upgrade this institution and the education one. And let's start colonizing like crazy. Another company we can get. The tooling one is always a good option. You know I'm supporting the independence of Scandinavia, but I'm getting a bit impatient. I think they should be free right now. And I'll make it happen no matter what. Oh damn, Italy actually accepted. That is amazing. Yeah, Scandinavia is independent, okay. Now I really want them in my power block, so I can eventually vassalize them. Okay, and we got health insurance. We're getting mass migrations from the new world. That's cool, that's very cool, let's be real. And I guess we can get another mandate, like companies. Now we'll need to do a bigger war, like a war for a protectorate in Indonesia. We can definitely do it, let's be real. And I would like to liberate their subjects. I really don't want to deal with all of that. Frontier wars, what in the world is that even about? It's something about Australia. I have nothing to do with Australia, however. Also, Alaska is down here, what? I don't think that's Alaska, my friend. Ooh, now China is going to war in Nepal. They're just trying to humiliate them. Vladimir wants to fight. Okay, we can fight. Okay, and Britain wants to help them, that's pretty bad. We're also going into a war against Ghana. Yeah, we can definitely handle everything. Okay, Britain is in here, we will have to bring in the US. This way we can open up another front over here. And you know what, we'll return this land to Canada. Poland is not yet lost, okay. They really don't want to get annexed. Okay, this war starts. It's not gonna be very easy, but we'll figure it out. I had to start mobilizing a couple more people over here. But at least we are holding. And I think we're ready for a counterattack. Now we can get our third company from the power block. But I don't really like any of those. I'll wait for something else. We're occupying everything we want from Britain. But we're still having trouble pushing into Russia. So we might have to wait until Britain leaves the war. Okay, Britain capitulated. And Canada got this part of Colombia. And I think now we can destroy Russia. Now we can get the home goods company. Which is pretty good with the glass. That's it, Vladimir. Release everyone. everyone. I think they're gonna be a bit weaker now. And Colombia became independent from Britain. Well, what if I annex it? You know I have to do it. Not gonna lie though, I don't think we're getting Scandinavia into the power block. But I still need more members. I need at least 10 so we can get another principal. So I think I'll go for Rajputana, since no one really has relations with them except for us. And they are pretty powerful, they have a big population. And they're a republic, that's pretty cool. Poland not yet lost again. I'm still gonna annex you, don't you worry. But for now I want to invest a whole lot into universities. And into a bigger army. Let's also make another protectorate in Indonesia. Let's get Rajputana in the power block. And finally we managed to get dedicated police force. This will get the influence of the landowners down a bit. Sardinia is attacking Arabia once again. Okay, sure, I'll help you. Now the independence of Poland is supported by Britain. Isn't that great? Seems like the only way to get their autonomy down is to build up the army even more. Okay, we're once again at peace. And I'm really struggling to keep Poland loyal. Thankfully the British don't support them anymore. But it's still not easy. Now we need one more power block member to get our last principal. I would like it to be Sweden, but it's not gonna happen. So instead we'll go into a war with Galicia. I'll try to transfer Texas from them. And I'll try to clean up the borders in Africa a little bit. Okay, now we can get our last principle, which I think will be freedom of movement. Yeah, that's pretty good. Now I'll try to be the first one to modernize my navy to ironclads. This way you know we might actually be able to invade Britain. General Hatsegan is trying to coup the government because I'm trying to pass homesteading. I think the only way to stop him is to retire him as a commander. So let's do that. Okay, so now we get this event where the coup can be victorious. Okay, and we got censorship. And we stopped enacting homesteading. Yeah, that's interesting. So that means he won? I have no idea. We can't get the landowners out of government now. That's unfortunate, okay. Ooh, let's subjugate Rajputana, that's a good idea. Yeah, okay, our empire grows. Now we also got nihilism. I guess we can just ban it. Sounds good. And you know what? The landowners have way too much power. We literally can't do anything without their support. So I think it's time for some democracy. Let's try census suffrage. And it's also time to finally annex Poland. We'll just give them a bunch of states so we can reduce their liberty desire. And then we'll still have to fight them, but we can annex them for only 75 infamy, which is a pretty good price. Unfortunately, they also got Britain on their side, but their army is not that powerful. And we can also bring in the US, so hopefully we can do this. Okay, we're winning some battles. We are winning every battle, so we'll definitely do this. And we get the springtime of the peoples, the worst possible time. I don't really like the radical movement. I mean, I want some democracy, but I still want to remain a monarchy. So I don't know, I guess we'll go for the conservative establishment. Okay, now we have a huge absolutist movement that we really don't want to fight against. Now we'll definitely have to cancel this. Now we're getting a radical movement that really wants some sort of democracy. Okay, thankfully we got this event, the Carpathian Revolution. We're not gonna go all the way to universal suffrage, but I guess we can compromise on census, right? I think that's fair. Red Winter, wait, what? The liberal order is threatened by both conservative forces as well as radicals who threaten to start a new revolution. I guess we'll try to keep the status quo and not go in a civil war. Although it looks like the counter-revolutionaries are definitely gonna win. The election is also very close between the opposition party and the Christian Social Party. Well, thankfully we managed to annex Poland. However, our country is incredibly unstable. The election happened and the conservatives are the only people that can really form a government, since the liberals are going a bit too crazy with the revolution. And the revolution was vanquished. Okay, back to autocracy. However, those guys are still pretty mad. Maybe we can try world voting to make everyone happy. Hopefully it works. Italy is also having a bit of a civil war, and Germany is taking advantage of that, trying to take a bit more land. Ooh, and Vladimir is having a bit of a radical uprising. Now I guess I could also go into Italy. There is no way they can fight everyone, right? Although we'll also have to fight the US, looks like. Okay, fine, we can do it. We can also try to expand Texas a bit, but that's a lot of infamy. After this war, we definitely need to chill. Now Germany is also having a revolt. This entire region is a mess. The US left the power block, okay, that was to be expected, but at least we got rid of nihilism. The US is out, Texas is finally looking like a real country, and we won the war. Now it's really time to chill and focus on the economy. The US made their own power block now. Oh, and the Germans are also winning against Italy. Okay, well, voting fails. And now we have a bit of a socialist movement that's trying to rise up. We just can't get anything done in this country. You know what if I made the king abdicate? We could get wage subsidies. Okay, and now we got King Mircea in charge. So now the army should become very powerful. But the intelligentsia is trying a coup. Now, okay, whatever. They are trying to get appointed bureaucrats. Right now we are unelected, which is a bit better. I don't know, I guess even if he wins, it's not really that big of a deal. Okay, the intelligentsia failed, but the socialists are still pretty militant. And we also got the end of spring. Pretty much nothing happened except we got a lot more radicals. Now we really need to downsize the army. We're spending way too much on that. But we are in the middle of a revolution, so we can't do anything. Reforms at gunpoint. So we can either get protectionism or we can get a civil war. Honestly, I think I'll get a civil war. Since those guys are incredibly weak, we can easily deal with them. We'll get another company, our fourth one. Oh, definitely I'll go for the paper one. Seems like an amazing idea. Now I'm gonna gonna annex the Maghreb. But first, I'll give them the states of Sardinia. Let's see if they accept. And of course they don't. Ooh, and we got steel frame buildings. Okay. Time to switch everybody. That's gonna create some shortages though. Now we'll try to take the Suez from Arabia. But I mostly want to war with them because I want to revoke their claims over in Africa. They are the reason why I can't colonize this part of Libya. Now the British pretty much consolidated all of South America into Peru. That's pretty interesting. And we just became a democracy. We now have a wealth voting system, finally. And the conservatives will definitely win the election. But that was to be expected. Okay, now we got even more socialism. We'll see how this plays out. A war to win. Okay, I guess we can get regulatory bodies. It's actually kinda nice. Now we have pretty much no infamy, so it's time for a bigger war. How about a war against Germany? And Britain and Vladimir, of course. That's pretty much half of Europe. But don't worry, we got this. And I'll take this opportunity to completely destroy the British Empire. We liberate Peru, liberate Brazil. I guess we can transfer Australia. And we'll take over their colonies North Africa. And Crete. Because now we got a big modern navy. And I really don't think the British can stop us. So we'll land 100 battalions right in the heart of Britain. Thanks to our superior navy, we are now in London. And we'll pillage all of Britain. An offer for Alaska. No. I'm gonna keep it. Yeah, they just took over the west coast. There we go. Britain capitulated. And South America is free. I actually thought it would be harder to fight that alliance. But no, it was incredibly easy. And we managed to commercialize agriculture finally. It's pretty cheap to protectorate Arabia. So I think I'll do it. That way it's gonna be easier to take whatever I want from them. They just keep making those Alaska offers. It's getting pretty annoying. Oh, Arabia just backed down. A bit unexpected, but okay. I'll keep Arabia as a protectorate for now. I'll try to take some stuff from them later. For now, I'll just annex those two guys in Africa, Beja and Jima. And we should definitely start surveying the Suez Isthmus. That canal would be amazing. Okay, we got electricity. Time to build it absolutely everywhere. I think I'm also gonna switch the entire army to trench infantry. And I'll give them machine guns as well. They'll be unstoppable. Rosa Luxemburg appeared in our country. Yeah, I don't really want her here. And now we're officially the largest economy in the world. Even bigger than China. And they also own like half of India, so it's pretty impressive. Okay, now we're at peace and it might be time to redraw the borders a bit. First of all, I'll give Arabia a bunch of land, so I can get them down to a puppet. And yeah, I guess we also got Hejaz. Now I'll give all this land I want to take from Arabia to Sardinia. Now I'll give some Arabian land to Rajputana. This way I can also get them down to a puppet. This entire place is a mess now. Let's fix the borders up a bit. Okay, that's a bit better. Rajputana has this, Arabia has Arabia. And I'm gonna annex Sardinia finally. 75% chance they accept. Let's see this. They did. Shut up, America. We got a bunch of new land. We got this malaria prevention tech, so we can start colonizing even those states with severe malaria. That's huge. Everybody seems to love corporatized unions for some reason. So you know what, sure, we're gonna do it. Now I'm gonna annex Catalonia, cause they really had to colonize this little bit of West Africa. Now we can get another company. I could get the food syndicate, but we're not really gonna benefit from the birth rate for too long. Okay, I guess we'll do it. We'll play for another 30 years. So it might make a difference. Okay, now we're having a huge radical movement. Hopefully they don't get too militant. Well, we got this law passed. I guess I could give those guys right of assembly. This should now go away. But I don't think this will pass. Opium wars against China in 1903. Wait, what? Really? I guess we can do it. I don't actually know. China has a pretty big army. I don't know how modern it is, however. Looks like line infantry. We should be able to beat them, right? Okay, let's go to China and take that treaty port in eastern Guangdong. However, we have a pretty disloyal subject in Indonesia. Yeah, I've been neglecting them. And they are too powerful to reduce their autonomy manually. So whatever, I guess we'll just take the treaty port and we'll leave. Okay, the Chinese are very weak. Oh, and Manchuria is such a mess right now. No idea what those guys are doing. Well, our war is over and now we got Hong Kong for ourselves. So we won the Opium Wars. Oh yeah, Carpathia rules the waves, truly. Now Italy is in a pretty big war against Germany and Britain. So I think it's a good opportunity to take this province they have in Tunisia. Although the US might join, but we're gonna handle that. Oh no, Italy has been split in half. The Germans and the British released this country. Not very nice of them. Now I'll try to go from interventionism to laissez-faire, because I'm getting tired of building everything manually. I would like more private construction. Now we got a new king. He's a 16-year-old and an ethno-nationalist. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. Alright, now we managed to switch to laissez-faire. That's amazing. Okay, those mass privatizations are filling up our gold reserves. Yeah, let's get some more construction sectors, I guess. We can afford a lot of deficit spending. Oh, damn, now the Heavenly Kingdom spawned in China. Okay, we could help them take over. But I won't do it. I won't do it. It's funnier to have this Hindu China. But I will attack Alaska, which lives in Hawaii for some reason. And we have also extended voting rights. Ooh, the Chinese are now having a liberal revolt and some other uprising over here. Now that's interesting. Gave the Indonesians a bit more land in Australia, so I can now make them a puppet. And I can give all the land back to Australia. Okay, now let's try to annex everything over here. There we go. Most of Australia and Indonesia are mine. So let's keep going. Let's take over those other little states. Unfortunately, now we're getting strikes. But we also got this Iuliu Bucuresti fascist guy. And the Vigor and Greatness journal entry. And we might be getting a march on the capital. Yeah, I guess we'll see what happens. Yes, the fascists are marching on the capital. Now what will the king do? What will our young ethno-nationalist king do? Will he let them form a government? Of course he will, of course he will. Now, will the fascist leader really go against the king? Considering how ideologically close they are, pretty unlikely. The way I see it is that they'll probably try to work together. So the monarchy will stay, but we're not gonna be democratic anymore. We'll try to create a single party state. But this new government will also have to deal with another big problem, which is the general strike. So we need to get the radicals down. And I think the easiest way to do it will probably be to reduce taxes. Let's see if that works. The royal folk is joining our cause, okay then. Sounds good to me. And we can get yet another company. I don't really wanna do the Suez one. I think I would rather go for the Motors company. Okay, the radicals are not very happy with us ending democracy. I just hope they don't rise up. You know what, I think I'm also gonna build the Panama Canal. Someone has to do it. Oh, Galicia now also wants to go to war. Okay, fine. Let's see how many states we can take from them in North Africa. Now, of course, we also have to fight Britain. Okay, we can deal with all of them. I'm just afraid of the civil war, to be fair. Things might not be looking that good, but trust me, we got everything under control. Okay, the radical movement went away, and we are landing in Britain. And we did it. We are now a single party state, led by the fascist Landbund. Time to outlaw dissent. I'm sorry, but we really have to do it. Now, in addition to the liberal movement, we also get a bunch of people that want to secede from us. Thankfully, we got a huge army and we can deal with all of them. And criticizing the government is now illegal. Now, I'll not go full ethno-nationalist just yet. I think we need to stabilize our country first. I kind of forgot about the power block, but I think I can switch colonial offices for something else now, like transportation infrastructure. That might be a bit better. We still have a bunch of separatists, especially in Poland, and we got the general strikes. Yeah, it's terrible, absolutely terrible, but we can't really do too much about it. The armed forces are also joining our cause. That's good, except they're marginalized. Okay, combustion engine is here. Time to build some cars. Okay, the election happened and the Landbund was taken over by the industrialists for some reason. Okay, that's interesting. Well, I would like to also get the intelligentsia in government, although they are humanitarian, because this way we can get rid of child labor. Ooh, and Scandinavian Niger is trying to get their independence. You know what, let's do it, and let's also transfer the Congo. It's out of infamy though. Ah, damn it, they're getting a revolt right now. Not really what I wanted. Bro, they're falling apart right now, just as I'm trying to annex them. Okay, the war is over. I spent like 20 infamy for like 4 provinces over here. You can't possibly get more unlucky. The Germans are having a bit of a socialist uprising. And you know what, I'm gonna help them win. Just so we have a more interesting game in Hoi4. Okay, we made Germany communist. There we go, compulsory primary school. And we also got telephones, which we should start building. They'll probably help us fix the bureaucracy shortage. Now it's time for us to also build a skyscraper in our capital. We are truly a great nation, however we have to deal with all of those uprisings, which is not very fun. However, now we have militarized our police force, so maybe that will help. Okay, we've done some war crimes. Yeah, just don't think about it. Okay, now we got no more revolts trying to rise up. We have finally stabilized this country. So it's time to go full on ethno-nationalist. There we go. I think we should probably take over Scandinavian Australia as well. Ooh, and now the Scandinavians are having a fascist revolt. Okay. If I don't have a truce, I would help them. But they might be able to win on their own. Now I would like to also kick the Galicians out of North Africa. Oh, but we're very much at the limit. I guess we'll let them keep Al Rif. We'll just take the rest. And yes, Scandinavia went fascist. Finally, we're at peace once again. Now it's already December 1935, and that's how the world is looking like. North America is split between us and the US, South America is now independent for the most part, Africa is also mostly owned by us and Britain, with a couple independent states, and Italian colonies. Asia, however, now that's a whole nother mess. I have no idea how this will translate to Hoi4, but I guess I'll figure out something. Ideologically wise, we have some pretty interesting stuff here and there. Germany is a council republic, Scandinavia went fascist, so did Japan surprisingly, so that will be interesting. Rajputana is also communist, okay, I didn't even notice that. Peru is a technate, okay, that's pretty cool. The Yoruba states are a Protestant theocracy, okay. But most countries are monarchies and republics. We are also still a constitutional monarchy technically, but we are an ethno-state led by the fascist party of Iuliu București. So it's a pretty interesting system. In case you're wondering, we're of course the greatest power in the world. The US is also technically a great power, but they are nothing compared to us. We have over 2 billion GDP, and in second place we have Canada, our puppet. Only after that we have China and the US. The literacy map mode is also pretty interesting. As you can see, we are doing very well. So is Scandinavia, Galicia, and Italy to a certain extent. But some countries like the Britannians or the US didn't really manage to get there. Honestly, I don't think the British modernized like whatsoever. They're still in traditionalism with slavery and no schools. Yeah, pretty sad. Our people are also living very well. We have a very high soil, especially in our integrated provinces. Some of them are up to prosperous. Meanwhile, the colonies are not doing so well. But we are still number 5 in the entire world, which is pretty impressive considering we have almost 500 million people. Only China has more than us. And they also own half of India. In case you're wondering, that's how the religious map mode is looking like. The Ibadis became a majority in the Kola Peninsula, okay. Anyway, Catholicism didn't do very well. They have only 88 million people globally. Even the Protestants have more than that. Mostly in the Americas, I would say. But Orthodoxy is definitely the most influential religion in the world. We have over 700 million faithful. Not even the Hindus have that many. They've also been doing pretty well. Islam is pretty damn weak. But we also have some other interesting religions, like the Turumists in Siberia. No idea what this is all about. We also still have a couple Tengris in the Far East. And Brazil went atheist, looks like. Well, now I also want to take a look at the culture map mode. And as you can see, Romanians are dominating this entire region. There are over 170 million Romanians in the world, absolutely insane numbers. They are still the largest group in our country at over 36%, with the Romanians coming in second with about 8%. But of course, we also have a lot of other minorities. So overall, I would say we did pretty well. Those are all the laws we managed to pass. Our institutions, also our companies, they are the most profitable in the entire world. And also, that's our trade. We are the biggest importer and exporter in the entire world. We are a very big chunk of the world market. This is the final part of the Carpathian mega campaign. We are in Hearts of Iron 4. And it looks like we and the US are the only great powers left. Anyway, that's how the world is looking like right now. I'm actually quite impressed at how accurate the border conversion was. Of course, we'll be playing as Carpathia, led by King Doru Carpathian, who is looking quite Austrian today. Anyway, we are a fascist regime, and so is Scandinavia, as well as Japan and Italy actually. Also Peru got converted to fascism. They were a technate before. Now can we see an ideological map? Okay, that's how things are looking like. Quite a lot of non-aligned people. And also a bit of communism here and there. Germany is communist, they are led by the council. Bar is also communist, they're a subject of Britain. Although this pie chart doesn't look very communist, does it? Anyway, it looks like the only major democratic countries in the world are China, Rajputana, which is my subject and they're led by a council. Okay. And also Brazil. And also Texas, my puppet, which has a very interesting flag. Yeah, the flags are not really the best now, are they? We have a lot of German looking ones. Overall, I would say the converter was pretty good, although there are still a couple problems. For example, our navy is completely gone, which is fine, I guess we can build a new one. But we also have a bit of a problem with the coal, in the sense that there is no coal anywhere in the entire world. So I guess I'll have to use this tool pack and fix the coal shortage manually. I just put down a bit of coal in every single state, because I just can't be bothered. I hope it's enough. Otherwise, I'll have to put down some more. But with that out of the way, I think we're ready to play. Problem is, I think we are a bit too overpowered. We got almost 600 factories. In comparison, Britain has 10. The Germans have 5, the Russians have like 15. That's really bad actually. I think I went a bit too hard in victory. So in the first couple years, I don't think I want to fight any big country. I'll just focus on cleaning up the little ones and on annexing my many subjects. There are also a lot of those small island countries I would like to get rid of. So for that, we'll have to focus on building up a navy. I don't really know how the navy works, so I'll just build a bit of everything. And that should hopefully be enough. Our research is also really bad for some reason. We don't even know what a train is. I'm pretty sure we had a lot of railways in victory, but okay, whatever you say. I would like to build a couple more dockyards. And how is the military industry? Oh, we have 170 factories, okay. I don't think equipment will be a big issue. Oh my god, we're just disgustingly overpowered. But we'll need a bigger army. 14 divisions just won't do it. I think I'll make this my standard infantry template and we'll improve it as we go. Yeah, we're still having a big coal shortage. Let me get some more from Vladimir. And Germany, okay. And China. I'm just buying everybody's coal. But it's okay, we have a lot of factories. We can also get those electrical grids to reduce the energy consumption. I think that's a good idea. Oh, and I definitely want the experimental facilities. For sure. I think I'll first go for the African countries, since the navy is not ready. And those states in Africa are cored, really? Yeah, we have no occupied territories. Is everything cored? Yeah, it looks like most of Africa is in fact cored. Oh, but Indonesia and those states over here are colonies. But why is Africa cored? It definitely shouldn't be. I didn't even incorporate it. But okay, I guess. Let's get this offensive guy for the XP. And let's deploy those guys already. Immediately we'll start building even more divisions. We can afford a lot more divisions. Only me and China are considered major countries right now. So that means justifying on anyone else will take an eternity. Unless we also go to war with China. Should I? To be honest, I don't really want to play until the 1970s. So maybe we should go for it. But we need to enforce Hong Kong a bit. Now we'll need to build trains. We need to build a lot of trains. Because I think they're pretty good at reducing autonomy. And we have a lot of subjects we need to annex. Now we have a bit of army XP. So let's get some anti-air and artillery on this division. And we also need some engineers. Let's get this guy for more political power. We could also get a liberal journalist. But he'll give me democracy support. Which I don't really want. I would like to stay fascist for now. Oh, and also, do you remember Iuliu București? The fascist guy that appeared in our country that marched on the capital and formed a new government? Well, he had a change of heart. He's now a communist revolutionary. You just can't make this up. Well, anyway, it's time for our first war in Nigeria, which is guaranteed by China. Okay, that's perfect. We are now at war with a major, right? So we can justify way faster. But for some reason, Hong Kong is still undefended. Those guys don't have supplies, so they're not going anywhere. Okay, that's terrible. Man, we really have no ports over here. Well, that's stupid. Oh, we don't have a port in Hong Kong. Okay, now that makes sense. No, it doesn't. It doesn't make any sense. Why don't we have ports anywhere? Okay, I guess I'll build them. Now we can choose a grand doctrine. Okay, so they changed how those things work. I guess I'll just go for superior firepower. I think that's okay. I guess we can also go a bit into China. Okay, but I won't go any further than this. I wanna stay at war with them, of course. Now we have occupied territories and I'm not gonna garrison them with armor divisions. We'll need a little garrison template. We'll do this one cavalry battalion. We already have a full army group now. We have 150 divisions. Yeah, I don't think we need any more of them for now. Also, we finally got a bit of a navy and we'll be using it in Indonesia and in the Pacific. We have over 300 political power now, so that means we can annex one of our subjects. And I would like to go for Arabia. So let's start a land list of pretty much everything we have. Yeah, that should be enough. Enough to annex them. Now I noticed a bit of a problem with Hejaz. They are technically still my subject, but they don't exist anywhere on the map, so I'll have to do something about them. I should probably also build an intel agency. I think it's a good idea. I would like to get some collab governments somewhere in Peru and Brazil. Those countries will be very annoying to invade. Okay, we got the Asian coalition, and Italy is also justifying on us. That's pretty interesting, since everybody I will attack will join that faction. So then I only have to capitulate China, and there are no more independent African countries. Time to move to Indonesia. For some reason I just can't do a spy network in South America, looks like. Not too sure why that is. We got a breakthrough in the land facility, so we can get a flamethrower tank. I think that's really good. We also have enough political power to annex another subject, such as the Indonesian one. 1000 convoys should be enough. Italy declared war on Britain. Okay, finally somebody else is doing something. Britain has more divisions, looks like, but it doesn't seem like they're in France. Now I think it's time to also attack the countries in the Pacific Islands, such as those guys. I have no idea who they are fascist, and I will attack them. And we'll also go for the Netherlands. I think they've been kicked out of Europe back in EU4, and they've just been living here for hundreds of years at this point. They still have their king and everything. Yeah, it's very cool, but I have to end them. I guess we can also take this liberal journalist. I really want the political power. Alright, the Italians just kicked Britain out of Europe. That's very impressive. The Asia alliance between the Netherlands and those islands over here. Well, I don't really care about that. What I really care about is the flamethrowers. Oh yeah, let's build some tanks. I think that looks pretty good. It's pretty cheap. Let's do it. Let's add flamethrowers to all of our divisions. And the recon company, why not? Let's also annex Rajputana. We also got our last research slot, so now we have 6 of them. Should be enough. Now I think I'll stop doing focuses and I'll just save my political power to annex everybody. Except for Hejaz, cause they're not real. Oh no, looks like we're getting beaten back in China a little bit. I really don't wanna be encircled. I guess we can send those other guys over. Yeah, it might be time to build some more units. Now should we also go for a war in the Middle East? Yeah, okay, sure, we can do a war against Iran. I don't see how that can go wrong. Now we're pretty much at war with all of Asia except for Nepal, which is split up everywhere. Well, now we got another 120 divisions ready. So you know what, I think we'll go to war with Nepal as well. Let's invade all of Asia, why not? Okay, let's do it. We are now at war with all of Asia. I don't think this is gonna be that easy. So yeah, we managed to capture all of India, and we are making some pretty good progress into China. However, crossing the Himalayas, that's just not happening. Instead, I'll try to unite the two front lines, focus on capitulating China, and then figure out the rest. Okay, we can't even hold the Olympic Games, I guess, with such a big war going on. Okay, we're trying to cross the Himalayas. And it's not going that bad. Okay, that was the big one. China capitulated. Now we only need to deal with Nepal. Maybe we should also go to war with Japan. Could be a good idea. We're doing the war against Japan. Hopefully they join the faction. Ah no, they made their own faction. Okay then, it's fine. And we finally got a peace deal in that great Asian war. Let's annex absolutely everything. Alright, that looks amazing. Now we're only at war with Japan and Madagascar. I kind of forgot about them. So we'll have to naval invade both of them. It's also time to annex our last subject, which is Canada. There we go. Now we don't really need to save any more political power, so we can finally complete our focus tree. Now we're finally at peace after quite a bit of war. But at this point I think it's time to finally go for Europe. Those guys had enough time to build up, so it's time to attack. We'll start with Vladimir. And yeah, I want to fight all of Europe at once, just like I fought all of Asia at once. Hopefully we have enough units. That's it, we're officially at war with all of Europe. Again, I don't think it's gonna be very easy, but we'll figure it out. We pretty much kicked everybody out of Africa and Asia, and we're doing solid progress in Vladimir, although we are taking quite a bit of casualties, but that's okay. Vladimir capitulated, that's huge. I think they were the most powerful country in Europe. Now we only have to focus on Western Europe. Italy is gone as well. Now Britain got France back, but not for long. Now we just need to land in London once more and Europe will be ours. There we go, we are in Britain. And there is no way they can stop us. Oh yeah, finally we got the peace deal. Of course we want everything. We now own all of Eurasia. And the only people that can really contest us are across the ocean. So I think it's time for one last continental war. The Great American War. But before that, yeah, we are running a bit low on manpower. So I guess we'll have to introduce some limited conscription. Yes, we conquered the entirety of Eurasia on volunteer only. That's how overpowered we are. I'm pretty sure those little guys are Native Americans, but for some reason they got a flag with a Chinese symbol. Okay, I guess. Now we're officially at war with all of America. Oh, let's see how this goes. I don't think it's gonna be very fun, but we'll see. Looks like the US was the first to fall. That was expected considering we attacked them from so many different sides. Okay, now there is only one more continent to go, and it is definitely the least fun continent to invade. Brazil capitulated. Now only one is left. Only Peru. They are the last one standing. Okay, it's over finally. You can't even imagine how fun land wars are in South America. But I think we did it. Yes, we are the only country left in the entire world. Aegeus isn't real, it's just in your mind. And we managed to conquer everyone in less than 10 years. But I wanna play for a bit longer, since something very interesting is happening in our country. The liberal journalist we hired has seen great success in promoting democracy in our country. Right now 57% of our people support it. So I'll wait for a couple of years for it to go even higher. And we'll see what happens. And I guess now we could also invest into a better garrison template. I'm thinking about an armored car one. That suppression is pretty damn good, and in a couple days we'll be adding military police to it, and we might as well get the best armored car. Oh, and we should start building nuclear power plants everywhere. Yeah, that's surely a good idea. Now we're starting to get nukes. I have no idea how to use them, but I'll get them just in case. Oh, and by the way, I've been building infrastructure literally everywhere. The entirety of Europe has maxed infrastructure. This is how the world could look like if it was ruled by Romanians. We're at 67% democratic support. We got this end screen, okay, that's cool, but we're gonna continue a bit further. Now we got 70% democratic support, so I'm expecting something to happen. There we go, the Carpathian Spring. After a democratic referendum was refused, the people rose up against the king's fascist regime. And I think at this point Carpathia should finally become free. Now the fascists have of course started the civil war against us, which is a bit underwhelming to be fair. I was expecting something bigger. I'll probably try to make it more interesting for the thumbnail. Anyway, now we're led by Sergiu Conache, who looks like Codrano, okay. And actually the fascist guy looks like Harman Călinescu, okay, this is very funny. Codrano is a Democrat and Călinescu is the fascist, okay. But yeah, we are still keeping the king around, by the way. We are not getting rid of him. We just want a bit more democracy. And for that, it looks like we'll have to win the civil war. We lost a lot of commanders, unfortunately, but whatever. I think the play here is to just focus on Europe and ignore the Far East and Africa. Yeah, hopefully this war isn't too hard. Oh damn, I think those guys might actually have more divisions than we do. We might have to recruit a couple more people. But maybe it just won't be necessary, I don't know. They are focusing on Russia, which we really don't care about. We only care about occupying the core states. They are the only ones that matter. Yeah, okay, this was actually incredibly easy. Okay then, it's time to make a couple changes around here. First of all, we're gonna be a disarmed nation. We are not gonna be attacking anybody, we don't have anybody left to attack. We're gonna do free trade within our own borders because there are no other countries left. We'll go back to a civilian economy. And you know what, we might as well get a job to Iuliu București, the former fascist, now communist revolutionary guy. Let's just make this as weird as possible. And we'll also be deleting the entire army. We don't need it anymore. We are the good guys, we are democratic. Although we did conquer the entire world and massacre millions, and we're keeping everyone compliant with armored cars and military police, but we're still the good guys, we like freedom and stuff. And we also brought a lot of prosperity to the entire world, so this is where we're going to end it. This was the Carpathian mega campaign from 1066 all the way to 1950. Over 800 years of history across 4 games. I really hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching until the end, and I'll see you in the next one.